The Seething Shore has just been released onto the live servers, so I decided to make a quick little video to explain exactly what it is and my first impressions on it. So it starts off with quite a lovely piece of load screen art, and then you find yourself on an airship with a bunch of other Alliance soldiers. Now I did only get footage for the Alliance version, so I don't know what the Horde side of the airship is like, but I imagine it's exactly the same. Matthias Shaw starts out by preaching the truth.
Could use another rogue or two, I'd say. But you'll do.
And then he gives us a quick rundown on what our mission is.
Champions, Azerite deposits have been located on an island off the coast of Feralus. We must secure them before the Horde does. We've brought our ship around to the center of the island. Collect as much Azerite as you can. It is the key to victory. There's a rich Azerite deposit below us, heroes. Get down there and collect all you can. And if those Horde marauders get in your way, put them down.
For the Alliance!
So the basic gist of it is, you jump off of your airship, you get a little rocket booster so you can go further, and you find these pieces of Azerite and you fight over them. And as a theme for a Battleground, I'm a big fan of that. You know, it gives us a little preview of the Battle for Azeroth war between the Alliance and the Horde. It's a simple battle for resources, it's very Warcraft, and I really like that. So my first impressions of it were that it's a fun Battleground. There didn't seem to be much strategy involved, but it was fun for a little bit of casual fighting. But my second impression of it was that it's actually kinda janky. There are a lot of flaws that make themselves very apparent when you played through it a few times. In this clip, for example, all 3 of the Azerite deposits that spawned at the start of the game were accessible to the Horde before we could even get there and stop them. And this wasn't the only game where this happened to me, this happened a few times. As far as I can tell, where they spawn is completely random and the airships are just flying around overhead. I don't know if there's a pattern to where the airships are flying, but even with the rocket boost, there's no guarantee you'll be able to get to any of the Azerite deposits before the enemy faction snaps them all up. Now a kind of weird thing happened here where it looked like another deposit spawned where we already had one, and then when we mined it, it seemed like we managed to get 3 lots of points out of the one node. But I'm not going to judge that too harshly because I imagine that's a bug that's going to get worked out at some point. But the fundamental flaws in the way that the Battleground works is definitely worth talking about. Now because where the Azerite spawns is random, a lot of the time one faction will happen to have players nearby where it spawns and the other one won't, and they'll just get it for free. A lot of the games that I played were just decided by randomness. You know, whether the Azerite would spawn next to one faction's group of players or the other one. A lot of the time we ended up going around and mining it without much fighting involved at all. Maybe if it was in rated Battlegrounds there could be strategies involving spreading your players out, but then still it's primarily going to be decided by where it spawns. If it happens to spawn where one team has say 6 players and the other team has 1 or 2 players, then you're probably not going to win that fight. But all in all, my impressions are fun Battleground, but with flaws. Could perhaps do with a few tweaks here and there before coming into the regular Battleground rotation, but I wouldn't be too disappointed if it didn't. And an interesting look into the kind of conflicts the Battle for Azeroth has in store for us. Oh, and one final note, if your commander shouts that there are supplies incoming, that just means the power-ups are dropping. Thought I'd mention that because for a while I didn't know what he was talking about. Thank you for watching my video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this Battleground. I'd like to hear your guys' opinions. See you guys in the next video, and have fun playing the Seething Shore.